lives matter, and this is my own business. This is my property. This is my land. So I'm entitled to do whatever I want to do with my land.
Yeah, but on that note,
what you do wrong with your life is your life.
Yeah, but on
my
that,
life is my life. So please respect. I respect yours or what you do as an animal activist. You have to respect two people. The foundation of any relation between humans is respect.
okay, well,
And having a clear and intelligent discussion, and not to come in with some predetermined ideas that you sometimes have about, oh, this is what is going on there. This is what they're doing.
Okay, well, when I called the police, it was to investigate.
I'd like to invite you next year over if you want to come.
Hey,
you can write something about it.
I would love to. Like I said, I've been to many slaughterhouses, to actual ones. I've been inside of slaughterhouses and witnessed animals dying.
You can't, honestly, Rob. There's no plant that allow people for visit.
Actually, back when I used to live in the country in Harrowsmith, Ontario. When we were kids, actually, back before all the regulations changed, back in the late 70s, they used to have.
Have you been into a slaughter plant lately?
Into a slaughter plant lately? No, but I have people that have worked in there that have released undercover footage, so I've seen it all.
Rob, I used to slaughter about 300 to 400 horses a week. Like I said to Rose there.
Yeah,
and it was a shame to do that because I'm a horse lover. And those horses were bought from the states, from Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, Mississippi, Alabama, and all that shit there. And they were like, those horses were abandoned.
Yeah.
You know, no home. So what do you think it's better to leave them in the wood, like deers and moose and stuff like that?
Actually, down in the States, there's a lot of wild horses. Well, not many left. The Mustangs.
You can't, and no jurisdiction on the East Coast, you're allowed to have wild horses. The wild horses are in the Midwest, but in the East Coast, you can't. So what they're going to do, they gather them, and they sell it, and we slaughter them, and we ship that to France, because in France, there's a big population that eats horses.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Right. Well, is it better to have them on the road than kill people? Come on, wake up, people. What is this there?
Well, if there wasn't such a market out there for people raising all these horses...
So this is where you should focus.
Well, we do. Oh, yeah. Well, we don't just go after slaughterhouses and stuff like that. We go after the people that raise like things, because all it mainly is, a lot of people raise animals for the sheer thing of greed and money, like and they keep, like, our world's going to hell in a handbake just over the cattle population. You know, we were cutting down more and more forests to grow more and more corn and soy for going towards for cattle and everything else and meat, and then you got all the factory farms.
I'm a small farmer, Rob.
Oh, I know. I've seen your farm.
We're trying to make a living, you know, as a small farm operation. I'm by myself.
Yeah.
But I'm very proud of what I do, the quality of land that I do, and people appreciate what I'm doing. And there's people like you that don't appreciate what I do.
No, that's why I fight for animal rights, because I try to get the right to fight.
Can I just be honest?
Sure. Say whatever you like.
Okay. What I would like to say is that all the money and the effort that you put into animals, yes, it's good. But you should put more time and money into all the poor kids that don't have anything to eat. Don't you think that we should focus more on the humane too?
Okay.
When I see that all the animal activists and all that, yeah, that's nice, no problem. All the puppy mills, you know, they're still operating. I never see you there, you know. But on somebody like me, that's, you know.
Actually, we go after puppy mills, and many times we've raided puppy mills.
Sometimes too, poor kids are beaten wife, or, you know, those things that, you know, there's a lot of kids that don't have any food to eat, you know.
Yeah, and
even here in Montreal, or in Glengarry, where there's poor people, you know what I mean?
Actually,
don't you think we should focus more on saving humane?
Actually, I do. My fiance actually helps out with food places and food banks and stuff like that. And she works at a grocery store that actually gives them stuff.
Like Rose, she's spending $100,000 a year of hay there, saving horses that are almost near death. And I don't know why she keeps them like near death, because they're blind, they cannot walk, they don't have any teeth in their mouth, and they're 24, 25 years old. Why?
Why? Because she's given them their last few years of life to be able to feel what...
You think they don't suffer?
Actually, on her farm, No animal suffers. She has vet care 24/7. Her animals are one of the most well looked after animals I've ever seen. I've been to a few different animal sanctuaries. I've been on a sanctuary where somebody doesn't look after their animals at all. I don't want to. I don't want to give that name out, but
this is where you should focus. I know Rose doesn't.
oh, I have focused on that place. I've actually outed that place and did a big website against it. So
Don't you think that if you had 5 minutes to spend your time on more important case than mine?
but to me, all animals are important to me. It doesn't matter if you only had 2 animals or if you have 200,000 animals. To me, if it's an animal that's in need, that's where I focus my attention. I have no morals when it comes to how big or how small of a crop of animals a person has.
But to get good result at the end of the day, Rob, you have to focus.
You know what? The only results I'm trying to get out of the whole thing is to save animals and to build more rights.
Why save animals? What did I do wrong? Were my land raised not properly? They were beaten? They were maltreated? What's wrong with that? You know what I mean? Yes, I think your focus is not on the proper person. I think the puppy mills, they live in a cage.
Oh, I know, it's horrendous. I've been in puppy mills.
Exactly. So I think that you got more stuff on your plate there to go after all those.
I know. Unfortunately, as an animal,
spend half an hour on my case.
yeah, I understand completely. But unfortunately, as an animal activist,
next year, Rob, you're more than welcome to come on my property.
yeah, I would be more than happy to come down, and then I can interview everybody as they're doing it and get their views and their opinions and yours. So,
to see what they do, and how the animal is not stressed.
yeah, I'm glad you're giving me permission for that.
Apples with apples, because we used to bring animals to the auction. The stress of the transport, the stress of being in the auction, that those people around the noise, going back into a truck, going back into the slaughter plant, going back there. You know what the stress they get compared to the stress.
Oh, I understand.
Exactly. So my way of doing it is 10 times more humane than all those people.
Well, as an activist, it doesn't matter if they're being slaughtered on property.
I want you to come.
Oh, I'll come. I'll be more than happy. I will be.
I want you to come without any freaking name of activist or green.
I will come as Rob. I will
as Rob, as somebody who wants to see how it goes and learn from that. And after that, if you want to make it.
Yeah. Hey, I grew up on a farm where animals were slaughtered all the time. I've been there, and that's why that's why I fight so hard now, because I've lived your life. I've lived like doing all this stuff. I myself, as a kid, have got my hands dirty. So I've got to see the dark side of what happens to animals. That's why I fight as hard as I do now to protect as many animals as I can, to try and get the laws to change in for animals.
If you want to make a good effect on things, that's my view, and I respect and I appreciate talking to you. If you want to do something and get good result there in life, you focus on something and you get it done. Like all those puppy mills that I know.
Hey, we're still working on them as you and I are talking right now. Puppy mills are still up on the agenda. That's something that we work on a daily basis.
There's hundreds of puppy mills around in Quebec.
Oh, hundreds ain't the joy. It's thousands.
They're still opening.
Yeah, there's thousands. For every one that shuts its doors, there's 3 that open.
Exactly. So I think that we should to get good result in life is to focus. Rose is focusing on saving horses, and that's the only thing she does, or a bit of all kind of animals.
Actually, Rose focuses on saving any animal. She has a lot of horses. She has a lot of horses on her property, but that's because the horses seem to be one of the main animals that seems to get thrown away by the system. But she has other animals besides horses.
A friend of mine, she's with the SPCA there, and I give money. You know what the thing I don't like at the end? Because I went to once of the fundraising of Rose there at the Balshamaris there in Salazar.
Yeah.
And I gave money to her charity. And in return, I see that what she did there, it burns me. I don't like it. I respect what she does.
Yeah, but you know what? But Rose technically didn't do anything. All Rose said.
Rob, no. if there's a fire in the house, it starts somewhere.
Yeah, but all Rose did,
light up the fire.
I know, but all Rose did was told me what she was dealing with, that she had a heavy heart, that she knew that you were about to do this, and she knew that because me and her are good friends, she told me, and then I told her that okay, I'm going to look into this because why do I? Because that's what I do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You should understand more what I was doing before calling the police. You should have at least called me and said, Jean-François, I'm a friend of Rose, and I'd like to come over and see how it's done. Because I've been hearing a lot of stuff about those Muslims and all those sacrifices.
Okay,
all that shit there. But you need to talk to people.
Yeah, well, but I understand. Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say. But the reason why I called the police, because I did my research first online because it was going to happen either way at your farm. You've already had it set up. The Muslims were coming, and so on and so forth.
Like the word, you're trying to put a sticker. That's what when I said to you, Rob.
Well, I don't know them personally, so I know them as they're Muslims.
Animal activists. Those people are humane people. They're living people. They're not Muslim. They're people first.
But they're known. But their religion. This was a religious act. So it was a Muslim religious act. It was a religious holiday for them to do this.
I could invite some people coming over and get some land, and I could have killed them for them, and that would be the same result.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
and it's just like
if I kill it myself to eat it, or somebody else come in and kill it.
Yeah, but technically, if you kill it for yourself to eat, it's legal in Ontario because you're doing it. It's your farm.
You're mixing two things because you told me I'm an animal activist. All because of those Muslims, the way they do it, they kill. But if I kill the same way as they kill, am I as a Muslim?
You're just as. It's still just as wrong. I don't care if you're Muslim, Christian, or Jewish.
Well,
the way it was done is sickening. To let an animal bleed to death. As you and I already discussed this earlier. Like I said, the reason why I called the police.
You should go and all call la Coopérative du Québec, all the big slaughter plant.
We're already there. We're already there, my friend.
Well, you seem to be everywhere, but nothing gets done. You know what I mean? You're talking about the puppy mills. You're talking about the pigs. You're talking about the way they kill chickens. Well, I don't see you anywhere because you don't make the papers. So there's nothing being done. So you prefer to go out some people like me there with a small operation and small farms.
Actually, myself, I've been in the newspaper many a times for some of my animal rights actions.
Well, I don't know. I don't see anything. We don't hear you in the papers too much. Eh?
That's because most people don't give a shit about animals.
That's not true.
Rob. Unfortunately, in this world,
all the people that give money to the SPCA every year, you think that we. Put something on Facebook about animal cruelty. You'll see all the.
Most people only give a crap about little puppies and little kitties. They don't care about the big picture.
Well, the big picture, Rob.
That's why when you see
we've been eating meat for hundreds of years, and we'll still be eating meat in hundreds of years from now.
With any luck, not. But unfortunately, you are probably correct. Yeah, and I'm a realist. I totally agree that that a lot of people will probably, unfortunately, be still eating meat in 100 years. But as a society, we can change. Humans can adapt, and
Rob, yeah, I know that there's people doing it, and there's people, it's a free world. It's a free world. I think animals, we eat chicken. It's like, we like it. We make a good sauce and invite people over eating meat. They were doing that in the times of the cavern people there, the cavemen. Like 3, 4, 6, 10,000 years ago, they were having a feast against, together and eating pigs or eating deer or go after all the hunters there. They shoot deer and they miss them and they bleed to death after 2 days.
Oh yeah, well we do that.
You got so much on your plate.
Well, that's the
leave the farmers alone. Leave the farmers alone.
I wish I could, but as an activist, that's why I fight, man. That's if it involves an animal.
You're fighting everywhere, but you're not fighting nowhere.
But I'm not. But what I'm trying to say is, as an activist, I'm not alone. There are many of us out there. Like, we're everywhere, and we're trying